You're on Moodle, okay? You're on Moodle. I'd like you to look at the literature block. You'll see a new link there. And that link says to link to the synthesis project. Why don't you go there? Nice. Your attention. Usually I send documents out to each and every one of you individually. I make copies and everybody's got one in your Share With Me folder. This time I've asked all of you to come to my document and look at it. And that's why you're all popping up here and starting to use the chat room. Because you're all in the same document today. Yay, come on in, it's warm inside. Well, yeah, I see a lot of people. Pretty crazy. You're all on this document. Toad? Tote? Tot? What? Wow. Hey, look at that. Awesomeness. Yes. Biscuits. Yummy. So many people. Drew Lim. See, I have a feeling this is what I'm missing out on Facebook. Which makes me realize I'm not missing anything. Yeah, Mansoor.
I searched you up on Facebook Market.
Yeah?
I found this person named Alexander Clarkson, and he was a teacher too.
You sure it wasn't me?
Yes, it looked like a different person.
Oh, weird. All right. Yeah. I love tacos too. Hi, people. Okay. Hey, have we all gotten it out of our system now? Yes? Okay, I'll tell you what. Everybody get their last comment and say goodbye.
Wait, I want the last comment.
I didn't even get one comment.
Oh, come on. The I love English has got to be the way we go out. Aw, thanks, Myra. Bye. Okay, it's all out of your system. Shh. It's all out of your system. I am leaving that open. You, looking at each and every one of you, close it now. Thank you. Don't close the file, close the chat window. No, it's done. You know, like the levels of Mr. Clarkson, right? The first time I request, I'm kind of nice, maybe a little joking about it. The next time it's some bitter, sarcastic comment, and then the third time I'm yelling at you. So far, we're still at level 1. I like level 1. Level 1's fun, so let's stay there. All right. I don't want to end on biscuit drooling, but I think we might have to end on biscuit drooling. All right. Thank you. Now we're done. Good. End of story. I don't want to see anything else. We're talking about a project today that is worth 60 points before the end of the quarter. Some of you have been asking me about how to raise your grade. You're about to find out. Pay attention. 60-point project. It's called the synthesis project. Can anybody give me an idea of what is meant by synthesis? Paul. That's true, but with photosynthesis, it's good connection. What does photo mean? Do you know? What does photo mean? No. 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 Comes from photo. Come on, guys. What does photo mean? It's photograph, photosynthesis? Close. No. Light. So what's happening in photosynthesis? Light. What are they doing with light?
Capturing light and making it into food.
And they're making food. synthesis is where things are coming together and being made, being captured and developed. Analysis is the opposite, where you take things apart. So when you're doing analytical writing, what are you doing with literature? That's right, elements such as what? Analytical writing asks you to take literature apart by pulling a piece out and looking at it. That's what analysis is. Synthesis is about putting things together. So there we go with the opposite. Your project now is the opposite of your analytical writing. It's asking you to put things together. You will have access to this document, and I will make changes on it. And when I make changes on it, you'll be able to see the changes because, of course, we're in Drive. But I'm going to keep this note up there to show you when I've last changed the document so you can know if I've updated it, because it's a work in progress, and I still have some additions to make. We have enough to continue, though. First, you need an idea. And I want you to pull an idea, like a type of conflict, such as a social or environmental conflict, or a type of character. Last class period, somebody wanted to work on the brave, kind of perfect, heroic character of Rikki Tikki Tavi. That's an idea, right? A theme. You're going to see mine, the exploration of the danger of wild animals. People in the environment, how the environment is a threat through its wild animals. And that's a recurring theme in different stories. Or you could look at a setting. How about the open desert? Which story have we read that figures the desert or a kind of desert-like setting as its primary setting? That's right, on the banks of Plum Creek. So Laura walking through the tableland, encountering the animal. So we've got a sort of a desert setting. Can you think of any films that also present characters in a desert setting?
The Prince of Persia.
Prince of Persia?
Indiana.
Oh,
Indiana Jones.
yeah, which one? We could do, no, not Temple of Doom, because Temple of Doom's in India. Raiders of the Lost Ark does that, and Holy Grail does that, or Last Crusade. Last Crusade does it. Yeah. Holes, very good. Any others? No? What I'm asking you to do in synthesis, drawing things together, is to say, hey, this has got it, and this has got it. I'm going to pull all these together to show how they're unified around the same idea. The desert setting. This idea is up to you. I don't care which idea you have, as long as it's a literary idea, a conflict, a character, a theme, or a setting. And then you're going to show it to me in each of the following. Show it to me in one of our literature unit stories. Show it to me in a movie. Show it to me in a piece of fine art. Basically something that's not a story. It could be a painting. It could be a sculpture. It could be a dance. It could be a song. And then show it to me in a current event. Show it to me in the real world. So can you find some news story that figures on the desert, that talks about the desert? Probably with our focus on the environment nowadays, you can probably find a news story that focuses on the desert in some way. What about the Pope?
The new one.
I know.
We could do that, right?
Not for desert, but what idea could you bring for the Pope? Let's see. Yeah, but how could the Pope relate to any of the stories that we've talked about, Paul? I'm fascinated by this idea now. So what can we do talking about the new Pope with a story that we've read?
In the dinner party, there's like prejudice.
There's prejudice, there's sexist prejudice, right? That women are inferior to men. How does that relate to the Pope?
Well, like some women might think that it's unfair that they can't be both.
Okay, so here's what we got. The theme is sexism. And we're talking about sexism, about men believing that women are inferior or women believing that men are inferior. It works both ways. And you want to say the dinner party contains a sexist theme. Can you think of any films that contain sexism as a theme? No? battle of the sexes, where men and women are battling each other. One thinks the other is stupid because they're men. One thinks the other is stupid because they're women. Mulan, yes, good. Sexism as a theme in Mulan, thank you very much. Dinner Party, Mulan. And then we've got the election of a pope and the question of whether or not women should be allowed to be priests within the Catholic order. Oh, now we're building. And this is what I'm talking about. The fine art representation is the only thing left. Let's fast forward to my model example. Go here. Okay, so you can see that on my first page, I've got my title, my name, class period, and then my topic. So my topic is about how animals, dangerous animals, exist in the natural world, and that makes the natural world hostile to humans. It basically goes like this, that we walk out in the natural world, and we're like, hey, you know, sun's shining, birds are singing, it's a park, grass, there's a tree, squirrel. But, oh my God, it's a lion! Ah! So the idea that a lion could exist in nature and cause a threat is sometimes surprising, sometimes humiliating, especially for those of us human beings that feel like we're masters of the earth. Where do we see this in literature from our unit? Where do we see the encounter with nature focused on the hostility of animals? Yeah, however, it's an animal against animal, so I think I would like human against animal more. Bryce?
Dinner party?
Oh, yeah, dinner party with the cobra. Very good. What else? Banks of Plum Creek. Good. That was yours? Three Skeleton Key. There you go. 3 examples from our literature. I've decided that I'm focusing on the banks of Plum Creek. And when I do that, my first step is to write an analytical writing about the theme on the banks of Plum Creek. Yes, I haven't written that paragraph yet. That's why it looks like this. This is a placeholder. This will be replaced with the actual sample paragraph. As I always do, I just didn't get around to it last night. Sorry. But step 1, write an analytical writing about one of the stories. And then I'm going to pick a movie. And of course, it's me, so you know I'm going to pick Jaws. Because that movie's awesome. And it figures a big shark. And that sounds like danger in the natural world from a wild animal. So that's where I'm going. Whoever's humming the theme song back there is driving me nuts. Stop it. Funny, but stop. Then I'm writing an analytical writing about Jaws. You know what? Jaws is a story. Plum Creek's a story. You can write analytical writings on both of them. I taught film for years. The writing for film is not much different from the writing for literature. So you can write an analytical writing about your film. And if you're talking about sexism in Mulan, you could write an analytical paragraph about sexism in Mulan. Easily done. And then my fine art representation. I have found this painting, and it is an oil depiction of an attack of a wild animal on a cowboy. The painting is called Grizzly Mountain, and it was painted by Andy Thomas in 2009. It depicts a bear attack on a lone cowboy and his herd of horses. This visual depiction of the attack provides a fine example of the danger posed by animals in the natural world. Good enough? Then I've got a current event, and I summarize it. In Zanesville, Ohio, a man named Terry Thompson owned a large number of exotic animals, including wolves, monkeys, and tigers. Thompson released the animals before he committed suicide on October 18, 2011. The animals posed a danger to the area, but police and animal control officers collected them all. This incident is a real-life example of the danger posed by animals in the natural world. Anybody remember that? Yeah. Of course, we're Ohioans. Of course we remember it. Oh, and look at what else I've done. Links to articles about it. So I found 2 news articles about that incident.
Bless you.
For the news articles?
Oh no. She kind of sleeps.
Okay. So I remember this picture.
That's a weird thing to put.
Yeah, that's serious.
Oh, there's exotic animals there? Nope.
At that day, there was, yeah.
Where's that?
Zanesville,
Oh,
Southern Ohio.
is that's
Yes.
okay.
But there's a news article. There's a news article. There you go. You know, everybody asked that in sixth period. Does this look like exciting stuff?
No. Oh, wow. Animals over.
Look at that guy. Is that the guy you're hanging out with on weekends? No.
He looks like a cat.
I mean, look at this guy over here.
He's my best friend in this class.
That's your best friend? Sorry, Kurt. What's up, Matthew?
Do we have to follow MLA format on this?
No. That's a good question. So, and Matthew, I will address those little nitpicky formatting questions in a moment. But thank you for actually bringing us back to the real world. So that's it. That's the project. 4 pieces of work, all focused on the same idea. Do you want to work with that sexism theme? Fine. Do you want to work with this type of setting? Fine. Do you want to work with this theme? Fine. You want to work with this type of character? Fine. You want to work with this type of conflict? Fine. I don't care. And in fact, I want you to develop an idea that you're interested in, that gets you excited about the literature. Because you sometimes might not notice that something that you like, a movie, a song, contains ideas that are pretty much the same ideas as are carried in material that you do at school. And when you can see that continuity, how something you do in school is very similar to something that you hold dear in your personal life, then everything can become much more alive. Let's go back to the assignment particulars to answer questions like Matthew's and others. Yes, Alyssa. No, the first one has to be a story from literature unit. So, Alyssa, you're dealing with 4 different items, one of which has got to be from class, and that's the story.
So, like, what we do is we write, like, there's, like, a story we like, and then we just, like, base our own story on it.
Well, you see a similarity between the story from the literature unit and a movie, right? And the similarity has to be a specific literature concept, like a theme or a character or a conflict, okay? So let's review. Let's go back to the beginning. You are picking an idea in one of those areas. I don't care which of these 4 areas, and I don't care what the idea is, as long as it's clear. And by the way, you have to tell me what your idea is for approval. We'll talk about that in a moment. Then you show that idea in a story from the lit unit, and yes, it must be from the lit unit, in a movie, and in a piece of fine art. Basically, it means a non-story kind of art, and in a current event. You could, as Paul just did, and it's pretty interesting that he did it, kind of start with the current event and then work your way backwards. So he's thinking, hey, they just elected a new pope. I wonder how that relates in any way to a story that I've read. And we saw that we could. The theme of sexism. You guys did an awesome job on that. You're going to provide an analytical writing for the story. No, you may not simply recycle a previous analytical writing, but you may deal with a story that you've written on before. But you can't just copy and paste a paragraph. You write an analytical writing for the movie, just as you would for any other story. And then you write about the fine art. You see I wrote 3 sentences about that painting, just explaining how it belongs in this project. And you write an explanation of the current event. A little summary, connect it to what's going on here, and provide a link to 2 articles demonstrating that current event. Are we good on the basic idea of the project? Stop me if you're confused, Matthew. Oh, it's a good question. I can show you that in a moment. It's pretty easy. You can probably experiment with it while you're there. You set up a link by selecting what you want to link. right-clicking on it, oops, right-clicking on it, going link, and then pasting in the URL, and then it's automatic. Pretty simple stuff. Paul, you had a question?
Yes, on the like first paper where it's like says like in
My title page?
yeah.
Yeah.
Project, do we put our name where
Yes.
in this?
Yes. Yes, Alexis. Do you underline it? It'll automatically underline it. The hyperlink? Right. So if I want to make the word assignments a link to something, that makes sense? Okay. Let's follow the format rules. You will do this in Google Drive. So you will create a Google document. We'll do that in a moment. You'll write your two analytical writings just as they were formatted before. And by the way, when it comes to format, guys, I don't create a model example for my health. I create it so you will copy the format. Do it the same way that I did it. So if you have nitpicky little questions, should it be bold, it should be on, look at my instructions and look at the model example. I don't feel like writing 5,000 rules for an assignment. I just feel like showing you what it looks like and then you doing it. Copy the picture into the document if you're using, or link a sound or a video. You can actually embed a video into one of these files. That means kind of, paste the video in there so the video will play. If you know how to do that, great. If not, learn how. But if you don't want to do that, if you just want to link it, you can do that as well. Link the current events article by their titles. So you saw me doing that down there with the New York Times and the Zanesville Times Monitor, or Reader, whatever that title was. Please keep the font consistent throughout. Some of you really enjoy playing with special fonts. I think I've seen Lizzie and Aisha and Max enjoy using special fonts in their notes. Your notes that are personal to you, knock yourself out. Go right ahead. When you're professional and you're presenting to somebody else, you use standard fonts, like an Arial or a Helvetica or Times New Roman or a Calibri, something like that. Yeah.
What about on title page?
Well, you can see that I used Impact, which is a pretty typical title font, but it looks standard and it's easy to read and it's pretty conservative. If you're using Crypt font or you're using Word Art, yay, so it jumps out of the screen. No, you're being silly. Do something standard. So we'll start with sharing the file with me. And I want you to call it Synthesis Project. You can keep it in your literature folder. And use my aclarkson@bex.net address, please. Let's do that now. Synthesis Project. Literature. Oh, by the way, please don't email me. Check off that box. I get like 30 emails in my inbox every class period from notices that somebody shared something with me. I know you've shared something with me. I'm watching you do it. Thank you, Matthew. We all doing okay? Thank you, Cody. Kamira. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Max. But Paul and Max, please make sure your titles are correct. And Paul, just a quick note, you don't have to put your name in the title because you can see on Google Drive your name is always right next to your title as an author. Thank you. Thank you, Rami. A. Clarkson at bex.net. Thank you, Alyssa. Kurt. Alexis. Mansoor. Aisha, Maya, Mark. It's not. You're just undergoing psychotic hallucinations. I know. It happens. Lauren, Bryce, Sarah, Lizzie. Good, good, good. Kim, Maddie. Haley. All right. Nice. Anybody not seeing theirs up there yet? I saw you way long ago. Remember I said hello? Yes? Good.
I have a question. How are there 20 ideas on the synthesis project if there are only 21 people here? Because when you leave it, like, that is like another people.
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't worry, Kamira, you're in here somewhere. Okay. I know, isn't that cool? Anybody not? Yeah, she was there. I did see you, Kamara. We will find you. If I can spell your name correctly. I blame the keyboard. That's weird. Did you just delete it? You check your share settings. Oh, Kamara, you gave it to me and you took it away and making me all sad. All right, we're good to go then. Everybody's shared with me. Hey, Ra, happy, happy. Should be up there in a moment if you shared it. A. Clarkson at bex.net, right? You got my picture up there? Okay. It'll come up, and if not, we'll figure it out. Let's go back to here. Notice the 60 points, please. That should be fairly easy for you to understand how you're earning points, especially if you're familiar with my analytical writing rubrics. And the detailed rubrics on each and every point and how you earn those that's another one of the details of the project that I haven't completely finished, but that'll come soon before we next meet. Let's talk about the schedule and the procedure. We're discussing this project today, March 15th. You're asking me questions, you're understanding it, so on and so forth. Then today, hopefully we'll have some time where we can talk about the stories and talk about the ideas. I've already gotten a really good idea about the theme of sexism. We can talk about other themes or other characters or ideas as well. Over the weekend, I want you thinking. And when you come in here on Monday, I would like you to give me an idea for approval. So if Maddie comes up to me with an idea and I think it's pretty much good, however, she needs to make one little change, she can check with me before she does a lot that just is wrong. So I want that opportunity to speak to every one of you. Gosh, in this class, I think I've got 23 of you, maybe? Something. If I have 23 of you, how much time do I have with each of you on Monday? Not even 2 minutes. I have like maybe 150, 145 per person. That's how long you get with me to talk about your idea. And that's if we're moving fast. So when you come in on Monday, you need to have an idea, and if you have a question, you need the question to be focused. So if Sarah walks up to me and I say, hey, Sarah, what's your idea? And she said, I don't know. You know, I kind of liked Ricky Tikki Tavi, but I don't know what to write about. I'm going to say, okay, Sarah, go over there. I'm going to talk to Rami. He and I are going to talk. You're going to go figure things out. And then Sarah might just lose her time. If you come to me with confusion, that's fine. But if you come to me and say, Mr. Clarkson, I know I like this story and I like this aspect of the story. I'm having problems with my idea. I don't know where to go. I know I like Ricky Tikki Tavi. Sarah, what do you like about Ricky Tikki Tavi? I like the cobras. That's cool. I like reading about the cobras. I was sorry when they died. I like the snake idea. Okay, let's talk about an environmental conflict. Let's talk about stories that present environmental conflicts with snakes or some sort of normally repellent creature. Spiders. Good. Spiders, snakes. Now we're going to talk about environmental conflicts with spiders and snakes and other sorts of insects and nasty sorts of things that make people go and make Alexis make that face over there. And now Sarah's saying, yeah, it's a good idea. I like that idea. Okay, good. Then you do that with Ricky Tikki Tavi, and you look at the imagery and how Kipling depicts the snakes and makes them seem all threatening and kind of insidious and nasty. And then what kind of movies come to mind? Any movies come to mind? Snakes on a Plane. Insidious has no insects or beasties like that. It's a ghost movie.
The last movie of Harry Potter has that big snake.
Oh, the Harry Potter thing. No, actually, part 2's got the basilisk, and part 2's also got the big spider. And then the last one's got a big snake?
Voldemort.
Oh, Voldemort's snake. That's right.
Yeah, like this type of movies, like this type of
Okay. What else?
Why is there 49 other views? Exactly. What the heck?
I don't know.
You leave and come back and come to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there are a lot of them.
So they're not there.
When I left.
Yeah, people are leaving and coming back in. We're on anonymous user 294 since lunch. So that's fine. On Monday, you'll give me that idea. On Monday and Tuesday, you'll have class time to work on it. Hey guys, whoever's cute is not cute. And we're having fun with this idea, and we're laughing, and we're talking, and whoever's doing this is about to make me change the class and ruin everything. And if you think you're cute, just realize that's what you're doing. So if you want the class to change, you want me to lock it down, and we can do this in a different way, then keep doing it. Otherwise, grow up. Because all you're doing is looking silly and ruining everything for everybody. You want to be obnoxious, do it somewhere else, but not in this classroom. On Monday and Tuesday, we'll be talking about you'll be working on the ideas. You'll have that work time with me in the room, so you can ask me questions. You can help each other out. If two of you have the same basic idea and you're working on that, that's great, as long as you don't give me the same project. So if Bryce and Max decide they want to work on the same basic theme, I'd like to see Bryce and Max working on maybe different movies. But if Bryce and Max turn in projects to me that have the same theme, same story from lit unit, same movie, same painting, same everything, even if it's some different writing, I'm going to say, no, guys, you need to drift apart. You need to be a little bit more independent. It's that gray line between, or that blurry line, I should say, between copying and collaboration. I want you on collaboration. I like you working together. And Monday and Tuesday will be the time when you can do that. So let's do that on Monday and Tuesday, and then you have a full week before it's due, Wednesday, March 27th. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, last 2 days before spring break, presentations. Yay. What? Yes. Oh, you haven't even heard about how you have to dance as part of your presentation. Now I finally went over the top, right? I'd be scared if I were presentating too, because I'm not sure what that means. But it sounds pretty painful. Hey, I neither as an audience member nor as a person myself presenting do I enjoy the idea of cycling through students one after the other, getting up here and presenting their ideas. Even if you're comfortable with it, it becomes dreadfully dull. So we'll do the small group setting, where you'll be presenting in a small group. You'll all have your Chromebooks. You'll be showing your Chromebooks, playing videos, showing pictures, talking about ideas. And then probably what will happen, and I'll articulate this clearly in the assignment sheet, is that each group will decide on one person to send up to the entire class. And that way we won't have very many whole class presentations, and those people will already have talked about it and they'll have the support of their group, make life a little bit easier. So don't worry, I'm not the kind of teacher that likes to cycle you through like that. We do presentations in different sorts of ways. But some people will be in front of the entire class. Rami?
Will you grade us on how we present?
There will be a presentation grade component, but I haven't determined what that is. So in some way you will be graded, yes. But not in a really formal style right now, Rami. Any other questions? The model example. Follow it. This assignment's going to build. Continue to refer to it. I will let you know as I've made significant changes to it. We have nearly 2 weeks on this, but those will fly by pretty quickly. Do the work this weekend thinking about your idea. If there are no other questions, we only have a minute or so left in class, so that's enough of that.